This is the third video in a series of 4 videos on the Math 8 curriculum. In this video, we will be highlighting the third 9 weeks. The third 9 weeks begins with Unit 6, Solving Equations with Variables on Both Sides. This unit is 10 days of instruction plus assessment. This unit begins with visual models of equations. We then move into direct instruction of solving equations with variables on both sides. They are introduced with algebra tiles first. New to the 2019 Math 8 course of study is students are expected to represent and solve real-world problems and interpret the solution in the context of the problem. This is done in Lesson 3 on the third day. We then finish out the unit with a study of one solution, no solution, and infinitely many solutions. Equations will be reinforced in Unit 9 when students are introduced to parallel lines cut by a transversal. The essential questions of this unit are: what is the meaning of an unknown? Is it possible to find the value of an unknown quantity? How do we know when an equation in one variable has been solved? What is the pattern to solving equations? How do you know? And how can inverse operations be used to isolate the unknown value? Next is Unit 7, Systems of Equations. This unit is 18 days. The unit begins with a lesson titled, What's the Point? Understanding that the point of intersection as a simultaneous solution to two equations. We then solve systems of equations graphically, then using substitution. In the 2019 Math 8 course of study, elimination is not featured in Math 8. This will be taught in Algebra 1. Before, it was unclear as to whether or not elimination should be taught. Now we know for sure. The only two methods focused on are graphing and substitution. The unit finishes with lessons on applications of systems of equations. The essential questions of Unit 7 are: how can systems of equations be used to represent situations and solve problems? What does the solution tell you about the context of the problem? What does the intersection of two lines tell you? When is it better to use the graphing method versus the substitution method? The third 9 weeks ends with Unit 8, Statistics. This unit is 13 days. The unit is broken up into 2 main parts. Part 1 is on constructing and analyzing scatter plots, informally fitting the best line of fit, and interpreting the slope and y-intercept in the context of the scenario. We then move to constructing and analyzing categorical data. Students will construct two-way tables and then analyze the data. The essential questions of Unit 8 include: how can collecting, organizing, and displaying data help us analyze information and make reasonable predictions? What is the most appropriate way to represent bivariate data? Why? What types of patterns can be found in bivariate data? What conclusions can be drawn from data displayed on a graph? And how can patterns predict the future? This concludes an overview of the Math 8 third 9 weeks.